Project 571, genetically engineered vampire created to destroy evil.
What do you want?
We need your help to kill a vampire.
Malleus Maleficario. It was written by a witch. The first witch. Titania.
That was a little snippet from The Witch's Hammer, the first film I ever solo directed, and it's just been remastered and re-released on Amazon. So if you like witches and vampires, then please do check it out. Anyway, let's get on with this week's episode. And as a tip for other filmmakers, I've not shot in an Airbnb before. Are you telling them you're filming, or are you just kind of booking it and shooting some scenes? How's it work?
Okay, I'll be very honest with you.
Yep.
The first house we booked for Airbnb, we did not inform them.
Right.
But once we went over there, the owner, he saw a lot of people with them.
Hi, Jim here, and you're listening to the Honest Filmmaker podcast. This week, I'm speaking to filmmaker Asif Pervez. Hi, Asif. What I want to talk to you about, I know you've got a feature film that you just finished, but I've looked at your IMDb, you've got a lot of short films on there. So, a lot of short films and a feature film. So, first of all, tell me what made you decide to move from shorts to features?
When I started my film career, my main aim it was to make a feature film, and I'm a professionally mechanical engineer. I don't know if I mentioned to you before or not. And since 2015, when I bought my first camera, I decided to have a feature film from that time onward. In 2017, I started to make my first movie, and the first feature film I tried to make, it was a horror film. But once I finished almost 80% of that movie, I realized that I'm not trained enough. So I scrapped that project, and I still made it. So I made almost 13 movies, short films, and then I decided to go for another feature. And in 2004, I finished this movie, the production, and post-production we finished in 2025, and we had the first screening.
Okay, so what I'm getting at here is a lot of filmmakers just keep making short films. They don't ever get onto that feature film. Sounds like you knew the feature was where you wanted to be. At what point did you think, right, I'm ready to do a feature film?
When I finished my sixth film, then I realized that, okay, no, at least I'm trying to get which I was hoping for. And enough network in the production, I met people, so many enthusiasts, and those people who was willing to support me. Most of the indie film, it comes with very limited budget and very limited resources. So all your assets is your networking and your connections, the people who are willing to support you with very little amount of. So once I feel that, okay, I have enough network, I have enough equipments which I have collected from last more than 10 years. So I realized that, okay, no, this is the time.
Right. Okay. And what would you say, before I move on to your feature, what's the key lessons you learned from making all those short films that then helped you with the feature?
Each short film, it taught me something. In the beginning, I was mainly focusing on the video, and then I realized that video is not the only thing. I have to focus more on audio also. I started to collect audio gears, and once I started to improve the audio quality, then I realized that only camera gear and sound gear, it will not help. So I have to start making connection with the post-production and focusing more on the advanced post-production techniques like color grading and sound effects and stuff like that. And gradually, step by step, each film, some film I improve the image quality, and in some film I try to improve the audio quality, and some films I added good color grading. Like my last three short films, if you will see, I mainly focus on the color grading, which really helped.
Right. Okay. And so tell me about the feature film. So it's called Mummy, I Don't Want To. What's the pitch for the feature film then?
Well, this movie, it's basically based on a book which it was written by Chris Friedman, and it's based on Golden State era, Golden State Killer, it was in United States. It was active from 1976 till 1986. And this book was written back in 2015. Until that time, the story was available. Like who was this Golden State Killer? What was his real name? Because uh, suspect he was arrested back in 2018. So almost 90% of the movie it's based on the fiction. So all characters and everything it's based on the fiction. But some of the events it may have some resemblance. So I met Chris Friedman on the Facebook group, and we were just discussing about filmmaking and stuff, and then we came up to a collaboration.
Okay, and what's the budget level for this film?
To be very honest, when we decided for the movie, because I have more experience working in the short films, so I was thinking that maybe around 8K budget, it will be enough to make this movie. And this is what I agreed with Chris Fairman. And once we started to make the movie, things started to add up. And since you are aware that things get out of your control, so if you want to finish a movie with a good quality, so we started with 8K budget, and then it reached to like 24K approximately.
Right. Okay.
The 4K budget we have spent.
Yeah.
Overall.
And
so that's one of the main reasons we got the post production a bit delayed. We took almost 1.
Right. Post production. So post production is interesting for you because I noticed you've got post production's been done in Dubai. So tell me why is it in Dubai?
Okay. I'm based in Dubai. I work over here, and I have most of the connections over here. In UK, I went there. We shot the movie over there, and when I came back over here, I tried to meet some people in UK, but collaboration for a project at this scale, it was getting very difficult. My first editor, I heard, based in Russia, so it was very difficult to communicate and to explain him like what's my vision. And then that guy, he backed off that he cannot finish the movie the way I want because of the communication issues. So then I gave it to another. He was based in London, and since the project is huge, editing a feature film, it takes like more than a month if you really want to do it in a very good way. And we had 6K footages, and overall data size was like so. Getting it done remotely, it was very difficult. So I an editor based in Dubai. So we were collaborating like face to face most of the time, and he understood my vision very well. And that's how we managed to finish the movie. And once we finished the editing, I sent it to the colorist. Colorist is not based in. And once coloring was done, the music part, it was done in Portugal. My sound editor, he's from Portugal, so he.
Right. Okay. So it's quite an international post-production for the film. And then, so did you say the film was shot in Dubai or was it shot over in the UK?
No, the film was almost 99%. It was shot in UK.
Okay.
We had some scenes which was shot inside the studio. So those scenes we did it here in Dubai because.
So then I'm looking at your film and I'm saying, right, you started off with an 8K budget, but the thing that blows my mind about your movie is it's set in the past in America. So for a low budget filmmaker, that's a lot to take on a low budget. So how do you shoot something that's set in another country in a different time period? How do you do that in the UK, and how do you do it on a low budget?
Okay. First of all, I would say I was very lucky. I met a lot of amazing people in this project. And when I discussed with my writer, the Chris Friedman, and we were thinking that maybe we can make this movie in a modern. We can completely change the story, and we can try to make it in a modern era because it would take less resources. It would be easier to find the locations. We will not have to focus for the art department or anything related to. Once we gone through the revised script, and I didn't feel that we can do something that can impress the people or grab some audience attention. So we went back to the same original concept. And I told him that since I was based in Dubai, I told him that my home it's in UK. So instead of doing the movie in Dubai, let's do it in UK. And thought maybe I can do it here in Dubai. So UK, luckily, like it's very easy to find the old locations because Victorian houses and still many people they prefer to have same old architect or even the indoors. The we did not have to focus more on the art department. Most of the houses what we rented through Airbnb, they already had very nice and interior looks. Since the movie it was based on 1970s, so it was difficult to have open streets in the daytime. So we shot most of the scenes in the night. It was easy to mimic UK as New York because we try to hide the detail and we managed to replicate some things here and there. And even the daytime scenes when we shot, we try to shot it in.
And with as a tip for other filmmakers, I've not shot in an Airbnb before. Are you telling them you're filming, or are you just kind of booking it and shooting some scenes? How's it work?
Okay, I'll be very honest with you.
Yep.
The first house we booked for Airbnb, we did not inform them.
Right.
But once we went over there, the owner, like he saw a lot of people with the equipment, and he was not bothered. But since we use more than 25 locations in this project, a lot of locations, it was this was one of the biggest challenge what we had. So I communicated with more than 5 locations which we used, and I communicated through Airbnb, sent them the message before booking, and almost all of them they have allowed me to film, so there is no problem. And this is what I meant to other filmmakers: go with the people, and 90% of the people, I'm sure they are willing to support you if you will tell them that this is an indie project and this is not some. And only I think couple of people they were a bit curious, and most of the people they are curious because once you go there with a big crew, you will destroy their property. So this is what you have to take care. That if someone is willing to support you, you have to take care of their property, and you have to take care of the others things like rights to the neighbors and making noises.
Sure. And did you have to pay any extra for filming, or did you just do it at the regular?
No,
No.
no, we did not pay anything extra. Whatever we booked on the Airbnb.
Brilliant. That's a really good one, because essentially it's like a shopping list of locations, isn't it? Airbnb, you can search where you want to shoot it, how much you've got in your budget, but then you've just got to get over that hurdle of making sure that person's happy with you filming, and if they are, you're sweet to film. So looking back on it now, you've finished your feature film. What do you wish you'd known when you started making the feature film?
When I started the feature film, like I was hoping that most of the people who I was relying, they will do their own tasks, and I will be just free. Once I started to things taking to the next step, I realized that I'm over depending on many people. So this is the first lesson I learned. Don't depend on other people, because if you are not paying them in full, you cannot have control over them. You cannot force them to do something, because they are giving you a favor. And in the indie film, like, you are relying on someone, and if you back off at the last moment, you cannot say why you backed off or something. And this is the biggest lesson what I have learned. And always try to have a backup. For example, if you are having somebody for the sound, try to get another crew member, maybe as even personal assistant, that if this guy for the sound, if he's not available, somebody else can take care of his responsibility, even though he's not as good or as professional, but somebody should be there to support you.
Yeah, definitely. I think when you're making micro, low budget films, nobody's going to care about that film as much as you, unfortunately, because you are on such a low budget. So yeah, sometimes you just have to swallow the fact that people aren't as dedicated to the project as you are. What was the sort of toughest moment on that film?
To be very honest, most of the things, it went very smooth. As I told you, like, I feel that I was lucky. And my biggest hurdle, it was finding the old cars because getting the cars from 1970 era, it was very difficult. And some locations for the offices, because this movie, it was based on the serial killer, so we had some scenes related to the police and some other stuff. So we wanted some older location for the offices. For the houses, as I told you, we have gone through Airbnb, but for the offices locations, it was very difficult to find the locations. And I made a schedule of 15 days of the shoot, and in 15 days, once we reached to day number 13, that time it became kind of full stop, and we were left with not two scenes, basically 2 days of the shoot, and those were supposed to be for the old car scenes and for the offices locations. So I had to delay some of the scenes. We took like for one shoot we took almost 1 week, and another one for 5 days. So in this 1 week and in those 5 days, I managed to find those locations and older cars, to finish those scenes, and we managed to pull it off.
Well done. So looking at the end part of filmmaking, sales and distribution. So what are you doing with the film? Who's it with? Where's it? When's it come out? All that kind of stuff.
Okay, we did the screening on 16th January, and until I finished the post-production of the movie, I did not think of any distribution plan or something, because my main focus, it was just to finish the movie, and I did not want to jump to the next step, because I failed in my previous feature, which I mentioned to you back in 2017. Because for that project, even I had the distribution agreement ready, but I did not finish the movie. So this time I just wanted to focus on step by step. And currently the film is on various film festivals. We have selection for 3 festivals so far, actually 4th. Once the festival cycle it will be over, I'm planning to coordinate with Film Hub, because Film Hub is the biggest platform, and hopefully we will submit our movie through Film Hub in September or October.
Cool. And when's your last screening? Your last festival screening?
As of now, the festival which I have submitted, if the film gets accepted, I think it will go until December. So, but I know that Film Hub, they will also take some time, because these days, if you submit something on the Film Hub, sometimes they can take 8 to 9 months.
Yeah, it can take a long time to start appearing on platforms.
Yeah.
And with your festival run, how did you pick the festivals that you entered?
For the festivals, I got recommendations from some of my colleagues. The good thing is, in my project, we had 30 cast members, and we have a WhatsApp group where we can discuss, and I posted over there. I asked other cast and crew members if they can guide me, like which festivals I shall focus. And based on that, I made a priority list.
Good. And then I guess my last question would be, if I was a filmmaker who'd made a bunch of short films and I was considering making a feature, what would you say to that filmmaker?
The lesson which I have learned for this movie is, first thing, finish your story. And once your script is locked, then start looking for the resources. One of the problem which I faced for my first feature, which I never finished, my script, it was not locked. So we were shooting and still we were working on the script and trying to enhance the things here and there. It's better to waste 6 months, even 1 year, or even 2 years finishing the script. And once your script is locked, then it will be easier for you to understand what are the requirements, how much resources you're going to need, what kind of locations you're going to need. And I use some platforms for this film, which I would highly recommend to everyone. For the casting, use the casting platforms like Mandy. They really helped me a lot. Most of my cast members, they came from there. And for the film scheduling and script writing, I use the platform Celtex. this is the best platform which I can recommend to all new filmmakers, new or even professional filmmakers. It really makes your life very easy. And if you will use, and there is one another platform which I use on my iPad. It's a shortlister, and this is a very good platform for the scheduling, and it really helps you to monitor and to make sure that you did not miss anything. So these are the things which I would recommend to all new filmmakers to follow, and hopefully uh, once they will be organized in the pre-production stage, they know what is needed. Production, it will go very smoothly. Like for us, first 13 days of the shoot, it went super smooth because we know what we have to do. And the 2 days of the shoot which got delayed, it was because of the locations, and it was in a new country because I never filmed in UK before, and it was a bit expected that we may face this kind of hurdle, so that's why I kept those scenes at the end. And once I was free from rest of the movie, it was easier for me to focus finding locations. I spent 3-4 days calling people and communicated through various advertising companies, and I got enough resources and finally managed to lock those locations.